So today is this nice, lovely Dutch autumn weather. One moment it's cloudy like hell and cold. Another moment the sun is shining and it's warm. And it's hard to get the right clothes for this kind of weather. But having said that, let's dive into the Ableton Move and, well, things I think that could be improved and how they could be improved on this great little musical device. And then the first thing that I would love that Ableton would add to this device is a dedicated audio channel or track. Now you can choose between like a drum rack, a sampler or a synthesizer, and that's it. And yes, you can create like small loops and part, but just to be able to plug in like a guitar or use a microphone to record some scratch vocals, having a dedicated audio track to record stuff and ideas would be really great in my humble opinion. And well, probably the internal storage will be like the limiting factor in this, because samples are all short and long pieces of audio are longer. But just having like the possibility of like just a mono audio channel to create songs, especially for people who are like singer-songwriters or people like me who also love to add like real instruments, just to be able to add like a microphone or plug in your guitar, it would open up a lot of more possibilities, and it would make this Ableton Move a way more broader, versatile musical sketchpad machine. Hoping that I'm in focus, but I just thought this could be a nice shot, but standing here I don't quite know. But having said that, something I would like that they would expand are the number of songs you can store on your Ableton Cloud. At this moment you can have like 8 or 10 songs to your Ableton Cloud, but I just would be, love it to be quickly dump every song from this device to my computer or through the cloud, so I can quickly open up new patches for new songs. Because working with this device, well, you can get a lot of ideas sometimes quite quickly. So having like only 8 or 10 songs that you can sing to your cloud feels a little bit limiting and takes extra time to just back up everything and open it on your computer and stuff. Well, shouldn't be that hard to open it up, so I hope that they would do this. And now the next thing that I would like that they would improve is how you can program your drum patterns. Because at this moment when you take like a drum rack, like the first 4x4 grid are your drum sounds, and then you have to use these steps to program your drum sounds. But for me, I would find it way more easier to also be able to do it like over here. So this could be like your quarter notes and then your subdivisions. So like if you got like, well, 16th notes, you can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. You get the point. So it can be like, okay, this is like all my ones, 1, 2, 3, 4 in your subdivisions. I said, I think you understand what I mean, but just to be able to program drums also on this part of the Ableton Move, for me it's easier to count than on like the buttons over here, because yeah, you got like the little mark for like every 4th note, but just to be able to do it over here would be great. And also maybe a way to set it to like a 6/8 pattern to be that a little bit more easy. But maybe it's because I'm not from like the old school drum machines that I'm not used of programming it like this, but yeah. Maybe it's minor, but I would really love it if they would add this. And just to be completely open and honest, this video has not been sponsored by Ableton, but it is by my friends of Repeat Audio. I love using their headphones, and one of the most nicest things about this are not only like the sound quality, but also they are really sustainable, because if any part breaks down, you can just replace it with like a replacement part, which not only saves you a lot of money because you don't have to rebuy a new pair of headphones, but also if you send back the broken part, you can recycle it. And going back to saving money, if you use code FERRY10 on the website, you also get a 10% discount on your purchase. And now, while my bum is getting soaked by the wet grass, yes, this is what it takes to create content in like nature, but I think it's really important to shoot where you find like inspiration, because as musicians we are indoors way too much, and I just love to go outdoors. But now let's get back to the point. This point maybe won't be something for everybody, but everybody who wants to like perform with the instrument, doing like live ambient lo-fi music, I think this could be helpful if they would improve this, and it could be done in like 2 different options, and it has to do everything with like the arpeggiator part. Now I just loaded some basic melody balance, which are always nice. And now let's go to the arpeggiator section over here, and now we got like repeat, or we can choose like arp up, down and random, and that's basically everything you can choose from this device. And of course you can go to like a more, well, like quarter notes. Which can be nice, but to me it can be a little bit limiting. And now for Ableton to fix it, what I would really love if they would add is like a, well, first of all, a hold function that you can just push like the buttons of like, this is the notes this I want you to play, and just keeps playing them and choose between them until you find something that you like. And then maybe even use the step buttons on the bottom side to choose for like in which kind of rhythm you want to play, and maybe also like the velocity, so you have like red, yellow, green, or have orange to like a hard, a soft or a medium note, and you can just play around with it and really create nice rhythms and melodies. And having said this, if you agree with me, and I think the arpeggiator improvement and the audio track will be the 2 most important things that I would love that Ableton would add to the Ableton Move. Please give a like and comment down below, because the more likes and views this video will get, the more likely it is that Ableton will pick this up and start working on this, of course. So let's help out each other on this. And now a way to already add this a little bit, what you can do, of course, is just use like an external MIDI controller. This is the MIDI Lab 3 by Arturia, a really cheap, or let's not say cheap, but really affordable MIDI controller, and I can just add this with like the USB connection. So let's do that. And now I can just play the instrument. But now let's turn off the internal arpeggiator. And now to set it up, I hope you can see the little screen, but I tell you what you can see. First of all, of course, turn it on. Then important for the sync, make sure it is on auto, so it syncs up with your Ableton Move. Now I can just start it, push down the hold function, now do something of a D minor 7. And now I can choose different kind of things, so I can go to the division, speed it up, slow it down. I can give it a little bit of swing. Change the gate length. And well, for this like basic bells pad, you don't need that much of it, like the gate. And then you can change the mode from like up. Should go down, and maybe let's turn the swing a little bit off. Inclusive, exclusive, random or audio plate. And this already gives you so much more options than you have like in your Ableton Move, and this device is like $100 or something. So already adding this will give you a lot more options with playing like the Ableton Move. But if they could add like these functions internally into the Ableton Move with like a firmware update, I would really love that. And while also working with like external MIDI keyboards, I would also love if Ableton would add support for like MIDI control 64, I believe, or 61, or for everybody who already knows it, it is the sustain pedal option. So if you play with like more piano sounds, it would be great if I could also use like a sustain pedal. And talking about piano sounds and stuff, extra piano sounds for me would be great. I like nice felt pedal and stuff. And talking about sounds in general, for me personally, I think most of the sounds are catered way more to like the hip hop, urban, dance, all kinds of electronic music. And for me it was like more like the ambient stuff. I miss some kind of sounds, and yes, you can play around with the sounds in it, program it yourself with like a drift and an Ableton, but having just some extra sounds would be great. And I must be honest, I bought the packages from SoundGhost, and no, this video has not been sponsored by SoundGhost, but having like the more ambient packages for SoundGhost, loaded them into the Move gave me some great extra options. And also for like drums, I got from, I believe, Lo-Fi Sounds. They're like nice mellow night and jazz drums, and I make my own kits with it and loaded those into the Ableton Move, which has become my basic drum kit by now for creating lo-fi nice background music on this device. And now the last thing that I would love if they would add, and this might sound also like a minor or really specific thing, but I would love if they would add this, and it is a Global LFo option. So you can route this LFO to every different parameter in the device, so you can route it to like your wave shape or delay time, effect setting, or anything you just want, just to be able to have like a sine or random or any kind of global LFO. So when you are playing, your sound just keeps evolving and changing to try just in the way you want, or like just more an experimental way. I would really love if they would add that. And having said that, I hope you like this video. If so, please And having said that, I hope you liked this video, and if so, please give a thumbs up below. Subscribe to my channel. You can also do this over here and click here for videos on which YouTube also things that you might like, and please also become a fan of my YouTube channel so I can create more of this content for you. See you soon in another video.